So I've been playing a lot of Resident Evil, so jump scare! Ah! Oh my god. Okay, there's your opener. There's your opener. It's a spider. It's a spider. It's adorable spider. Adorable. Welcome back, friends. Lost Scarf here, and it's time for the vlog. So what is a vlog, right? What's the vlog for us? So vlogs for me are therapy. That's what they've always been. Putting my thoughts out there, sharing them, and then people get to see them. And thankfully, family never sees these, so they have no idea about things that I have gone through or think about, or, how, I almost killed myself. They'll never know that. So, what I want to talk about is, I think, a very interesting thing, and that is presence of mind. Like, two ways to put it. Presence of mind and present mind. Like, being in the now, but also, like, being in your thoughts. It's, there's probably a better way to coin that. But what I mean is actually thinking about things. I think we spend so much time distracting ourselves, we don't think, and that's kind of why when we go to bed, everything happens in our brain, and it's like, oh, hey, we're just now thinking, and now our brain's in overdrive for a little bit. I think that does cause insomnia as well. Oh, tonight's gonna suck. I gotta sleep at 10 somehow. Okay. So real quick, let's talk about the presence of mind about a certain large vampire lady, and then we'll go into more deeper things. Why is Lady Dimitrescu so popular? She is 9'8" or 9 foot. She's huge. She's 9 foot something, 9'8", maybe 9'7". Big lady. She, of course, has very nicely large breasts, very nice large booty. She's dressed nice. What's there not to like? Who doesn't like a giant lady? Well, some people don't. So you have people who are very, I don't know if cynical is the right word about it, but they're like, oh, people just like her because she's got a nice rack and a nice booty, and she's got this nice body, and she's just a giant lady, and people just like that. And I think, okay, let's take some thought here. Is that all there is? For some people, yes, but I think there's more to it, having now played Resident Evil 8. What we got from the trailer really shines through about her, and we get it more so in the actual game, is she is something rare, and that is we don't normally get a giant, powerful lady, or just a powerful lady as an antagonist, now do we? So it's refreshing to have that, where we have this antagonist, like Resident Evil 2, you're getting chased by DMX, by Mr. X, you're getting chased by the Nemesis in 3, you're getting chased by these big hulking men, and that's always intimidating. But then you've got Dimitrescu, very intimidatingly big lady, she's got freaking claw hands, she can destroy you, and she gives Ethan a very bad time. And so what I appreciate is we have a big, scary, powerful lady antagonist, which is such a rare thing, honestly. Like, we've had lady antagonists who are, like, powerful or this or that, but not to this kind of degree. Like, you could say maybe GLaDOS is this big, intimidating figure who has control over everything going around you, and that's one thing. But it's not the same. I don't know why I brought it up. It's not the same. There's not a lot of female villains. And this is a pretty good antagonist. Like, she's got power. You don't really see power being used by a female antagonist all that much. They usually do more subtle things, or just machinations. While this is, oh, she just wants to murder you with her hands. And devour you. Devour you. And so what else makes her great is the power, and also that she's very, like, regal or confident about it. There's a confidence about this character. You just see it on her. She knows she's the big bad in the room, and she enjoys that. And that's something that comes very well through in her voice acting and how they drew her emotions and everything in the game. It's a very fun ride. By the way, an LP of Resident Evil 8 will come out after Layton. It's a pretty good game. There's some great stuff going on in there. Good action, and there's some good horror in there as well. Resident Evil's just finding their way towards horror, and it's pretty good. Like, there's a refinement to this character. Like, it very much feels like, although they're, like, in Romania, it feels like maybe, like, 20s or 30s America, kind of with the way she's dressed and how she carries herself. It gives you kind of that vibe. This, of course, from an American-bent lens, because I know mostly American things. There were probably these different fashions and way of being in other countries, of course, but all we can do is from the lens of where we are. And so she's not just boobs, she's not just a big booty, she's not just a giant, she's also power, she's confidence. She's also, there's also a pettiness to her character that comes through at times. So there's a lot of dimensions to this character, and that's what I appreciate about Lady Dimitrescu. The other villains are a bit more paper thin, just talking about Resident Evil 8 for a second, except for Heisenberg, but Heisenberg is, honestly, I think the guy's just trying to be Nicolas Cage. It just feels like Nicolas Cage is in this game, and that is what it is. I think Dimitrescu is one of the more interesting characters out of it. Now, moving away from that, I want to talk about presence of mind, presence of person. Presence of mind and being in the present with your mind. Like, we do a lot of things to turn off our brain. We really do. We watch TV, we watch cartoons, we watch documentaries, watch a lot of things so that we can experience, but I don't really think there's much of our head going on in there. And I think that's one of the things that is good about forums, and to an extent maybe with social media, is you get to talk about things and actually be thoughtful about the subjects by talking about them. That's what is good about reviews, and what's good about critiques or things like that is there's time for some thought to be had there when you have those media happening. It's really like social media feels, actually with social media it's a lesser thing because it mostly feels like everyone's just like, that was cool, huh? Yeah, that was really cool. Like, it's mostly just reactionary, and reactionary is like not that deep, really. You can't really have a great discussion in social media. You really can't. Forums make it better to actually have discussion, which lets your brain actually think about things more. That's what I think is, if you actually really like something, I think it is worth going to Reddit, or it's mostly Reddit, isn't it? Reddit's become like the forum now, but like just actual forums, if they exist, of whatever you're enjoying, so you can have more time to reflect on the thing you're enjoying, being more present in it, and getting more revelations like, oh, I didn't think of that, or that's an interesting interpretation of what's going on here with the story. I'm just thinking it would be good for, in general, just mentally, to actually take the time to think about things instead of just going through. And then it's just out your mind eventually, and then it's not there anymore. You just know you watched it at some point, or you read it at some point, and that's all it was, and now it's just gone. Yeah, it's being in the present. That's one way of being in the present. The other way of being in the present is, say a self-inventory of yourself. Like, where are you right now? I think that's something that, one reason why we don't think about where we are right now is because it's usually depressing. Like, for say, where am I right now if this was maybe, I don't know, 6 years ago, 7 years ago? Around that time, the presence of now was in this much darker place, which is why I wouldn't want to think about it at the time. It was, did not have a job, can't find a job, this is really frustrating, and I really don't want to be alive anymore kind of stuff was happening then. And like, when you're in a darker place, yeah, you don't really want to be present in your mind. I think what really helped me get through those dark places was, of course, friendships and distractions. Lots and lots and lots of distractions. Like, for sure, having Jinx as a friend and talking to Jinx all the time, of course, helped me through dark times. But also distractions helped me through dark times, so I didn't have to think. So of course there is good to not having to think all the time. But I do think there are times when you should catch your breath and really think, to let your brain just decompress and actually be present where you are. Because before you know it, it's all going to be gone real fast. That's also the other thing about it. Like, so you can just enjoy your time. Maybe I'm more advocating for being more present in mind when times are good, and being more distracted when times are bad, and knowing the difference. Maybe that's what I'm advocating for here. Because yeah, it's probably better to be distracted instead of just being really depressed in your head. Whereas if things are going better, maybe you should take the time to step back and appreciate everything, or understand what's going on, instead of just going through things at breakneck speed and just not really thinking about things. And that's something I think I need to work on myself. Being more present about things, because I keep finding myself forgetting things or falling behind on things, or just being too busy to do things because I'm just going too fast through things. Like, we have so many projects, and if I actually took the time to sit down and think and plan them out, I'm sure more would get done. The other thing is, I'm always on the quest to just be more entertained. Or I just have a problem with stopping being entertained, so actually doing the things that need to be done. That's also a problem I have. It's also about building habits. Right now, there are just so many projects I want to do, and then I do some of them, then other things fall to the wayside. It's just life, I suppose, but it is the thing that happens, and I'd rather have less things not be finished. Well, I guess that's life as well, though. There's always going to be these paths that you can take, but you can't take every path. Like, yesterday I got the violin tuned. Apparently it was completely out of tune, horribly out of tune for the last year, which explains why it all sounded terrible. I thought I was just bad. Apparently no, the instrument was bad. Well, not the instrument was bad, the instrument was tuned poorly, and I did not understand how I tuned it so badly. I went to a Luther, and he's like, okay, yeah, here we go. And he's just figuring it all out with me. I'm like, okay, now I have a better understanding of how to tune it, I have a better understanding of what I'm looking for with the sound and all that stuff, and that's good. At some point I want to get lessons on that, on the violin, instead of just self-teaching, so I can actually have a better idea what I'm doing. But at the same time, I want to learn Japanese. I am spending like half an hour a day not listening, but going over just Japanese lessons. Right now I'm going over the alphabet and I need to make flashcards. I gotta put in time to do that, so that I can make sure I know how to read the specific characters and say the specific characters and things like that. Like, I'm using the Bunpo. That's what I'm using right now. It's been pretty good. I like it. It's been a good refresher, because I used to know Japanese a long time ago. Like 15 years ago, I knew Japanese to an extent. And so it's been a pretty good refresher. I'm like, okay, I recognize these characters, and I remember some of the lessons on how to remember them. And it's been going pretty well as a refresher, and at some point I'll need to actually know what the hell I'm doing, I'm sure. And it's been nice. And then there's also some other apps I can use. Also, my sister has a subscription to some sort of language website she uses to learn Korean, so I can use that for Japanese. That's another thing I'm trying to do. Yeah, let's take, say, the next little bit here. Just do inventory on me and all the projects I'm doing. And then you'll see just me working it out. And if you want to try to be present, you can see how you're working it out on yourself. So what are all the projects I am doing? And the answer to that is too many projects. Let's go with the person project. I already brought up learning violin. That's one. Another one is learning Japanese. Why do I want to learn Japanese? It's so that I can translate things. I want to be able to translate all the raw Kirby stuff, so that we have more stuff I can talk about, because I want to consume these Kirby things. I found somebody translated some of the light novels. I'm reading the Dreamy Gear book now, which is pretty cool. Someone translated it, and I'm enjoying that. So I don't have to translate that one myself. In the future, I could, to see if there's any mistakes they made in translation. But it's been pretty good reading it. The violin has just always been a dream to just play it, since I was a child, so now I'm actually doing it. That's why I'm pursuing that, but right now it's not the time for it, but I kind of want to do it. Here's the thing, I got a coworker who's learning violin. He's been playing it for 2 months, and he's really good already. He's like, oh, son of a bee. And it's because he's already good at guitar. Like, he's already played guitar his whole life and things like that, so of course he has some understanding. But now I got a coworker who knows the violin, and he wants to jam. So now it's like, well, now I want to learn the violin, so I actually got someone I can play with. That's pretty cool. What are other projects? Well, you got the channel. So you got the channels. We have 3. My mistake on making that many. We've been going through Hades. I'm almost done playing Hades, so that's like a project I've been needing to finish. There's also playing a bunch of indie games, so that we have a bunch of recommendations we can make through indies. And I'm probably a month behind, maybe 2 months behind on all of that, because I've just been busy with all the other things. Working Grave every single day of the week really didn't help me out there. I want to do more Magic content. I've been playing Magic every day, but I haven't been recording it every day. I feel like I'm getting better at playing Magic. But we only have 7 videos of Magic, and it's been out for almost a month, and that's because I just do some recordings and I don't do recordings, and that's all that happening there. Legacy of the Void is getting recorded, and I think we're 3/4 through that LP for Legacy of the Void for a weekly LP, so I don't really need to finish it, but I just want to finish it so that, I still know what I'm doing with that. That's another project we're doing. Another one is just the LPs that happen. Right now I'm recording Resident Evil 8. Once that's done, I'll go back to playing Legacy of the Void, Because since I've just only been playing Resident Evil 8 every day for like 3 hours for the LP, but also because I want to play the game. That's another project getting worked on. Then there's, of course, Smash Brothers. The amiibo tournaments. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I have a bunch of amiibos. I want to utilize them. Also, what I'm enjoying is just seeing these AIs develop. It's been really exciting watching these AIs develop. I'm really liking that a lot. And I'm pretty behind on making the next video at this point. I should have made it 1 or 2 weeks ago. So I need to record that. So next Friday will probably be the next amiibo tournament. For sure. And then I'll start editing that after that comes out. After that gets recorded. What's another project? Another project, of course, is Kirby. The Kirby Dreamcast itself. Another script's been written. I was supposed to record that Wednesday. I'm going to record that today now. Record episode 43 of the Kirby Dreamcast. And then me and Jinx are also slowly going through Superstar so that we can record the footage for the podcast episode for that. And then I need to research Kirby Superstar. Sakurai spent 3 years developing that game. While he was doing that, other games were getting made, and he didn't have a hand in those. So I gotta find whatever information I can on the making of that that's in English. Japanese, I just cannot do. There's going to be an episode in the future in that podcast where I'm just going to be like, okay, here's all this Japanese stuff I found that we can talk about now that I can understand it. By the way, the Kirby podcast is now on Pandora. It is also on Audible. It's on audible.com. Holy crap, it's on Audible. That blows my mind. It's on Pandora and Audible. The only ones left are like Stitcher. Stitcher and Spotify are the hard ones to get into. Those are the hard ones. We're on Google. We're on Amazon. We're everywhere. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on everywhere except Stitcher and Spotify. We're getting there with the Kirby podcast. Then there's basically a podcast where it's just looking for guests. Right now, that's been on the back burner. That's another project. That's another plate I'm spinning that is not spinning right now, really. Then what else is there? What's another project I'm doing? What is another project that is happening? The project of, I guess, trying to get this body into a better place. I'm starting to work out again. Every day I'm working out at least an hour. Thursday's my rest day. Today I'm going to be doing physical therapy for 90 minutes. They're going to wreck me. I got to get going in a couple minutes to go do that, by the way, so I need to hurry up and finish this vlog. That's another project of the self, this body, but it's not just physical therapy. It's also just going to the gym and working out and figuring out a good plan for this body. Like, how do I muscle it up? How do I slim it down? How do I keep my core in a good place? Things like that. So, of course, there's reading books, and where do I have the time to do that? I gotta find time for that as well. What's another project? Well, okay, another project is dieting and being good about that, and I've been trying my best to plan that out. I eat 4 meals a day on work days. I have a protein shake in the morning, and I'm trying to have like 35 grams of protein every 2 to 3 hours, because that's how much you can absorb in 2 to 3 hours is 35 grams. So I have a protein shake in the morning, and then I have 35 grams of protein plus vegetables and a little bit of rice for like first lunch, and then a second lunch 4 to 5 hours later. So I eat at I'm drinking my protein shake from like 7 to 9 in the morning. Then at 11-ish, I eat my first meal, my lunch. And I try to make it not a full meal, but a lesser meal, like an 80% or a 70% meal. And then at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, I have my next meal. And then I get home, and then we stream, and then at 8 p.m., I have a small meal. And I'm trying to balance this all out, and when I inventory all of my consumption, it's trying to be like 1,900 calories, under the 2,000. I look back at my past when I was younger, and I was eating like 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 calories a day when I was younger. And I got a gut to prove it. It amazes me, though, when I think about it, like, I ate so much food, how did I not become a much larger person? That's what I wonder. Well, I still went to the gym, so I guess I was burning some of it off. Just imagine how much more fit I would have been if I just ate less than I did when I was doing all that, I suppose. That's another project, is the project of dieting, the project of building the body, and they, of course, related. The project of building my back better. A lot of projects there. What's another project? Another project, of course, is work. Keeping my job. Keeping my credentials going. That's another project going on there. So I have a lot of things I'm doing. Got a lot of plates I'm spinning. We have another project, of course, with Star Trek, where we're doing We're going to be watching all those movies and ranking them, and hopefully the audience, you guys will stick with us and watch those too with us. I think this has been an interesting experience. That's another project going on. What's another project? Another project, Gundam Abwinged. So the Abridged for Gundam, which we said we were going to work on, 2 years ago? We've been so very slowly working on it. And the longer this vlog goes, the more I feel bad, because who has to edit and listen to this vlog? That is Jinx. Jinx is just hearing all the projects I'm talking about and that we work on, and just all the weight of all that, of all the things that we work on. It's so many things that we work on with this channel, and Jinx is there with me, and I pile so much of that on her. And Jinx, of course, really wants to do this Abridge, and we've just been slow about it because we're just so busy. Jinx has a full-time job, so when I say all these things, of course, I don't want to stress out Jinx. But I'm going to stress out Jinx. I'm sure just hearing all these projects, all this weight, is stressful. But that is another thing we want to do. We want to do this Abridged series at some point. We have all these different ideas. We've written out so many different jokes, and I love a lot of the jokes we've written, and someday it will come to fruition, I believe. The channels are a marathon. We've been running a marathon for 8 years. We really hit it hot for a while, of course, and we've been long from that, but I still believe we can tell something really good and fun, and people will enjoy it. And a few people do. Y'all have been here for a while. Some of you are new, some of you have been here forever. I should say it better that way. But there's a major project I need to do. A major task. And I've been so intimidated to do it, and I need to do it, and I was supposed to do it this week, and I didn't do it. I'm going to work soon. In 16 hours, I'm going to work. And I did not work on it, so I'll try to work on it when I get home tonight. At some point. And that is the project of, well, the future. What is the future I want? The future, of course, is to have a family. I've said this many times, of course. And in order to achieve that, he's going to be making good dating profiles. I'm so scared of that, and I cannot imagine anyone liking this. And so I just keep thinking, like, okay, well, if I don't think anything wants this, what can I do about this? And that is the other part of this, which would make this much longer, so I'll have to talk about this next week, maybe, if I remembered to do it, and that is, why are we who we are? That's another part of being present. What are the reasons? Why do I look like this on purpose? What am I presenting here? Why am I presenting it this way? Some people don't have any presence of mind. They just wear what they wear, and that's been me too. And that attracts certain things, that unattracts certain things. Well, you want to be you, right? But there's also presenting yourself in a way. Why is my hair long like it is? Why is my facial hair not as well kept as it could be? And some of it's laziness, of course. I could update my wardrobe. Other thing, of course, is, well, got this gut here, got to work on that. I've been slowly working on it. I've been losing about half a pound a week. It's a slow process, but it's making progress. But if I want the now, well then, I don't know. Yeah, I completely, honestly, on these dating apps, I see all these girls, I'm like, I just don't see myself next to them in pictures. I don't see what could possibly be attractive about me to them, and that is a problem, because that is the first thing they're going to see, of course, is this. I have older pictures, like younger pictures, like shorter hair pictures, but I have to make sure this is the first picture. Oh crap, it got fuzzy. I have to make sure that it's me, what I am right now, because I could cut this hair, but I'm trying not to. I'm trying to hold out here because I want to donate this hair. I want it, like, apparently the way it works is you make a ponytail, and they cut the ponytail. And the ponytail right now is how long? How long is this? How far back can we go? The the ponytail is only as long as... From here to here. How much hair is that? Evidently not enough. Do I have a measuring tape? I do. Real quick, let's see. How long is Scar's hair? Also, how long is my penis? Let's check. Alright, okay, so let's see. We're looking at 5 inches. Also, how long is my penis? We're looking at 5 inches. You need, I think, 8 inches of hair. 10, 14. So I'm still like half a year away, maybe a year away. And women who are attracted to this aren't always attracted to, well, shorter hair. You know, like, beauty is only skin deep, but some people are very much more superficial than other people, and I know I'm a bit shallow too. I know I am. I care about the heart. I care about deep in there. I also care about looks a little bit too. Like, hard not to be, at least for me. Some people, that looks aren't everything, which is I wish I was in that place. But why am I not? Because it's just I just like things that look nice, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to be present minded to that. We've gone long enough. This is enough reflection for now. It's definitely enough reflection for now. I've done my reflecting. Why not do some reflecting too, right? Just, where are you at? What do you need to work on? What have you done well? Like, that's the thing I didn't bring up is, what achievements have I made? I bring up all these damn projects. I'm like, damn, I got so many things to do. But at the same time, what have we achieved? What have I done? How many projects have I completed? We have completed literally thousands of projects. We have completed so many videos, so many series, so many things. And there's been so many fun rides. That's the thing to remember. That's the thing to keep in mind. Why do you do the journey? Why do you do the mission? Why do you do what you do? Keep that in mind. That should be your fuel. Your fuel should be your journey. Your fuel should be the fun of it. At the end of the day, Resident Evil's been very fun. At the end of the day, the amiibo fights have been very fun. At the end of the day, writing these jokes for an abridged series for the future has been very fun. Doing the Kirby scripts, talking about Kirby, having this podcast, doing all that paperwork to get there. The paperwork obviously isn't fun, but the results of that is very fun. There is still fun here. There is achievement here. There is pride to be had. There is confidence to be gained from that. Like, I can't show it very well because things are in the way, but I've got muscle here. I've got flexing I can do. And I love that I can do it. And I've lost a bit of it because of what's happened with the surgery and everything, but I'm going to gain it back. I want it back because I don't like looking at certain parts of me in the mirror, but other parts I take pride in. I definitely take pride in some of the definition of my muscle. And so, yeah, I want to get that back, and that's worth the ride. And I literally got to go to physical therapy in 2 minutes. So let's see. Okay, so even with the downturn in the channel, even with all these other things, after all the pain and all the not boredom, but the grinding out of things, I'm still proud and happy of what we have made. And I'm still happy with my life to an extent. Of course, like, the love life could have been better. Could be better. Maybe in the future I'll be happy where I am, but where I am in life, where I am with everything, some things are still a work in progress, but other things, I'm happy with my progress and where we are and what we've done, and I'm happy with that, and it fuels me to go forward. I have overwhelmed me and Jinx to an extent with all these projects, but they're still fun to do. Oh yeah, there's also drawing and trying to get good at drawing. That's another project. Oh my god. My realization is I'm constantly running. One way or another, I'm running. But there's also times when I'm just not making any movement. Whoa, oh, yeah. That's the alarm. I gotta get going. But that is life. Like, we're not just running with 2 legs. We're running with dozens of them in different directions over different things. It's a better analogy there than legs, but I can't think of it right now. Like, we're going along all these different paths at the same time. And we're making progress in these and then that, and it's just all these different things. We're multitasking all over the place. I think it's important to hold on to what is the fun of it, or what is the goal, why is it worth it? Like, when you're in school, why is this learning worth it? Because you're hoping to make a career out of it that you will enjoy, and that will or make you a lot of money so you can do things you enjoy. I want to keep going, but we gotta stop already. Next time, I want to talk more on being present and reflective. I think that's something worth going over, and I'll use myself for that, obviously. And I think that would be an interesting conversation to have with myself, since I'm talking to myself here after all. But y'all be there and see if it helps you think about yourself and how it helps. At the end of the day, I'm hoping these are me going over my things and my thoughts helps people think about things in a better light somehow, even though I talk about depressing things at times. Well, that's it. Gotta get going. So I had fun. Hope you have fun watching. That's what's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by and see you next time. And know that after this video, I will be in hell for 90 minutes. And it's gonna suck, but it's gonna be worth it. Know that. Oh, God. Alright. See you later.